I'm going to show you how to calm the tinnitus doom loop and the panic spiral. This is going to come in very helpful for anyone who is worried that they're never going to get better. You're worried that tinnitus is going to ruin your life. Maybe you're worried that, oh my gosh, I can't believe this has happened to me. If you feel like you're going to be stuck in tinnitus forever, that things can't get better, or maybe you just have this subconscious worry about it, this video is for you, because I'm going to show you how we can dismantle that experience, that negative experience, and return you to peace, return you to happiness, and eventually return you to silence. It doesn't happen all at once, but with patience and consistency, recovering from tinnitus is very, very, very doable. So what you have to understand is that the tinnitus doom loop is psychological. The sound is real. You are panicking from it and you're suffering. That's psychological. It's driven by your thoughts about tinnitus. That you're stuck like this, you can't turn the sound off. How are you ever going to be happy with this loud ringing in your ears? Those are all thoughts. Those thoughts aren't facts. You don't know. You have no way of knowing if you're going to suffer forever. No way of knowing. And then more than likely, if you could calm yourself and get your attention off of the tinnitus, more than likely you probably won't. What we're going to do, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find your thoughts that are driving this suffering. For me, and I'm going to go up to dashboard here, I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. For me, it was, I can't control the tinnitus. This was one of my big thoughts that was really driving a lot of my my suffering. With that trap feeling, that I can't control it feeling. That was really driving it. And so I didn't know any of this stuff. For me, it was just like I thought the sound was the reason I was suffering. Like I thought that the sound, like it's because of the sound. I have to control the sound. They need to cure it. All this stuff. I didn't realize it's not the sound. It's my resistance towards the sound. So what you're going to want to do when you have that thought, I can't control the tinnitus, I feel trapped. You're going to reframe it. You're going to catch that thought, and you're going to reframe it. You're going to catch that thought, and then you're going to read this thought. It's understandable to feel trapped by tinnitus, but while you can't control the sound itself, you can control how you respond to it. Many people find ways to live fulfilling lives despite tinnitus by focusing on what they can manage, like their reaction and coping strategies. This is so true. I've learned to lower my negative reaction towards it. Over time, this has gotten me out of the tinnitus spiral. Because here's how the mind works. Your mind fires a thought, right? For me, one of the thoughts was, and I've had a ton of thoughts, but one of the big thoughts I'm showing you is, I can't control the tinnitus and I feel trapped. And that thought would lead to another thought. And the thought felt so true. It felt so true. It felt certain. That thought would drive a physical sensation, heart beating, cortisol pumping into my body. My system's redlined, my nervous system is shot from all the fight or flight. And I'm just like, this is so true. This has to be true. It feels true. It's my mind is telling me it's true. It has to be true, right? You wouldn't want to accept that you can't trust your thoughts. Funny thing is a lot of times you can't trust your thoughts. Your thoughts do lie to you. Your feelings do lie to you, especially when it's feelings and thoughts of hopelessness, especially when your amygdala is hijacked. You can't trust them. So that's the head trip, because it feels real in that moment. It's never going to get better, but it does get better. And the way that we begin to stop firing those negative thoughts is we begin to reframe them to where, if you reframe this thought enough times over weeks and months, and you're like, as soon as you catch yourself, I can't control this tinnitus, I feel trapped, whatever that thought fires, and you say, it's understandable to feel trapped. We can't control the sound, but we can control our reaction to it. We're going to calm ourselves, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. We're going to rejoin our life. And if you practice doing that, eventually the thought doesn't fire at all. And when all the thoughts stop firing, you stop hearing the sound because your brain naturally tunes it out. It's just that you're not letting your brain tune it out. So tackling your thoughts and learning to reframe those thoughts is so powerful because it breaks the thought loop. All you have to do is introduce a little bit of doubt into your hijacked mind, and that doubt begins to bloom. Maybe you're not hopeless. How can you be hopeless if I habituated? What's possible for one is possible for all. If you can do it, why can't I? All that stuff, that's how you reframe your mind. Now, I've naturally reframed my mind because I've been doing this stuff for a very long time. But at first, you have to notice the thoughts, and then you have to write them down. You have to consciously reframe your thoughts. You're not going to feel like doing it. And when you're in fight or flight, or when your amygdala is hijacked, it's very hard to actually focus and write a thought out. But this, you just put in your thought and you just press reframe, and it does it for you. So, I find that extremely helpful. I use this every day. In different areas, right? There might be different thoughts like, oh, I'm far from home and I feel lonely and stuff. You can reframe the thought. It's applying the same concept. It's applying mindfulness and cognitive thought reframe and neuroplasticity. Your mind is very neuroplastic. It's changing all the time. It's taking these concepts and it's applying it to tinnitus. So after that, all you do is, I would go through and do, 4 catastrophic thoughts a day, but you go down here and save that to journal. But you do 4 thoughts, and you might notice, like me, I had like 20 or 30 negative thoughts that were firing all the time. But I got good at noticing the thoughts, reframing them, and I kept doing this and doing this. And I literally would you just bring your phone with you and pull this up and do it on the fly. But here's the beautiful thing about being able to do this is, like, your thoughts, you find out that they feel real. A thought isn't just a thought, it's a full, like, sensory hijack. Like, it has heart racing if it's a real powerful thought. And and so they did an experiment, and they said when you think about things, when you meditate on, like, becoming something or getting rich or something, or doing something, your mind doesn't know the difference from if it's actually happening or not. So when you're dooming about tinnitus, your mind believes that is objective reality. That's why it's so terrifying. That's why thought reframing is so powerful, because a thought is a full experience. Okay? So you can change your entire universe of experience by reframing your thoughts. That's the power of thought reframing. And so there's a whole world of positive possibility that opens up when you fully can grasp how the mind works, psychology, and thought reframing. And it's consistency, it's practicing it, but over time it changes your life. So anyway, I appreciate every single person watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Make sure to comment and subscribe below, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.